So are you as excited as I am about the holidays? Yeah. I always look forward to it. Yeah, do you remember when we were kids what it was like the closer it got to Christmas? I know I was terrible. I still remember. Yeah, it's like, that's the hard part when you have a birthday in December. I mean, you're lucky that your birthday was in January. I know, it's like, once my birthday rolled around, to me it was like, okay, it's time for presents. Like, yeah. I know. I always wanted to open a present every day. Yeah, well, I know, do you remember how we'd get lucky and we'd get to open up a present early? And they'd be like, okay, well, just pick one, pick whichever one you want to open. And inevitably it was a pair of socks or a pair of underwear or something. It's like, why is it that every time we got to finally open something up, it was always something dumb? I know. I always wanted to open up a toy or something, that I could play with. But no. Yeah, see, I think that too. I think that they would purposely wrap the dumb stuff in wrapping paper that we would find very appealing, and we'd look at it and think, ooh, that's probably something really good. Yeah, and always putting things in bigger boxes than what it was. I know, every time you'd open up some big box, there'd be all kinds of crap stuck in there. It was like, I know, I had a brick in one of mine once because I was picking it up and I'm like, oh, this is really heavy. And I thought it was going to be something really big and something, like some big toy or something. No. It'd be like a package of underwear or socks or something with the brick in the bottom. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's funny now when you look back on it. Yeah. I know, well, see, that was always the exciting thing for me was, Christmas Eve, we'd go to grandmother's house. And that was always neat because she always had tons of presents under her tree. Of course, they weren't for us. I mean, some were, but it was exciting to go there and see all these presents. And then to go look around and look on the name tags to see which ones were ours. Mm-hmm. Didn't it drive you crazy that we'd go over there and we'd be there for hours and they wouldn't let us open the presents or anything? So we would have to sit there and be all excited and anxious and looking at them for hours on end, waiting for that moment. And, looking back on it as an adult, it's like, that was so dumb. Don't you think? It's like, here we are, little kids, and you're giving us presents like toys and things like that if we had opened them when we got there and we were going to be there for hours, we could have been playing with the toys while we were there. We could have kept ourselves occupied having fun instead of bugging them about opening the presents. I know it's all backwards. That was a fun time, though. It always seemed like it took forever to get to grandmother's house. But then, once we grew up and we were able to drive on our own, it was not that far at all. But it seemed like it at the time. It just seemed like it was like really far away. I mean, technically it was another town, but it was not that far of a town. So it's not a big deal. Oh, yeah. Well, see, every year when it got to be my birthday, since it's the 2nd of December, I was like begging every year, can we please put the Christmas tree up? Can we please put the Christmas tree up? And eventually, that's what we started doing. It was a tradition every year. We always put the tree up on my birthday. That was kind of like a birthday present for myself. Sorry. But that was always so much fun for me. And I thought it was kind of cool that we had an aluminum tree that had that little light ring thing that you like shine it on the tree and it spins and the colors change and it like reflects off of the tree. Do you remember that? I know it was at the time though, it was like I didn't like that tree that much. But now it's like I think it'd be really cool to have one of those. It's very retro. Yeah, I really like those retro trees now. But I know when I was a kid, I always felt like we had a dumb tree because everybody else had like real trees or green trees, even artificial ones. And I always thought, why do we have this? But I do remember having, it seems like that we got a real tree a couple of times. I remember the needles getting dry and they would fall off. stupid tree we had that one time. I don't know if we had it. Can't remember if it was every year, like for a few years when we were getting a real tree. I can't remember if it was that kind. It was that prickly kind. I don't remember what it's called. I always called it like the sticky state tree because it was like that tree across the street that we called the sticky state tree. Because it had those really prickly branches. That thing was awful. I didn't like that tree at all. And it was not even that pretty. And then we put all those dumb little icicle things all over it. Those little strands of like foil or whatever the heck it was. And that was just a mess. Oh, the memories. But I gotta tell you, it was so exciting once we got home from grandmother's house and we put our stuff away. We went to bed. I could not sleep. I had such a hard time going to sleep waiting for Santa Claus. Oh man. And every little sound I would be like, was that him? Was that him? And then once I woke up after sleeping for the majority of the night, I remember it would still be like dark outside. But I would go in there to go look and see if Santa had come. And it was so exciting to go into that living room and all you could see was the silhouette of the things under the tree that Santa had brought. Oh man, that was so exciting. You know, because you could see like the silhouette of a doll sitting there or a bicycle. You know, whatever it was, you could see it sitting there. And I remember I would like run in there to wake up Mama and Daddy. I'd be like, Santa came, Santa came. And they would get up and come out there. And we would just start looking at all the stuff that Santa brought. We'd grab our stocking, dump it all out on the floor. And I remember in the stocking it was mostly like walnuts and oranges and apples. There'd be a little bit of candy and a couple of little toys, in there. And it was just so exciting. It's kind of weird because it's like depending on where you live in the world, and I guess the way you're raised, a lot of people wrapped their presents from Santa, which I love to unwrap presents, but there was something so exciting about seeing those silhouettes under the tree of the stuff that he left. I love that. I thought that was so cool. And I remember that there was like, my presents were on one side of the tree and your presents were on the other side of the tree. And we always knew which side was which. Because there would be things that you had asked for and things that I had asked for, so I could tell, oh, this is mine. Oh man, that was so exciting. It was so much fun. And it was so cool when we'd go and look at the cookies and the milk that we left for Santa. And I remember that there would be like all these crumbs laying around and most of the milk was gone, but he left a little bit in the glass. And all of that. That was so exciting. Those are some happy times. But it was funny. Years after that, of course, once we grew up and Santa didn't come anymore, I remember Mama saying that she was like, yeah, we had to stay up and stay up waiting for you girls to go to sleep. And we thought you'd never get to sleep. And then finally you get to sleep. And then, we're in there trying to put all this stuff under the tree for you and get it all set up. And we're in there eating them cookies and putting crumbs all over the place and drinking some of that milk and trying to leave it, looking like Santa had been there. And then we'd get to bed and we'd no more lay down in that bed until here you came down that hall. She'd be like, yeah, I could hear you going down that hall right after we got back to bed. And then you're coming in there, wake up, Santa came. Oh, those were the good days. Those were the good memories. But I loved it. Yeah, I kind of miss that, kind of miss those exciting moments when you're a kid. Those were the exciting moments that I really miss, Yeah, those are times that we'll never get back again, but at least we've got the memories of it. Well, guess it's about time to go to sleep. Hopefully you feel like you're relaxing. But yeah, we'll have to try to relive some of those childhood memories at Christmas this year. Do some of the same stuff. I wish Santa would come though. I'd love to wake up and see a silhouette of all the gifts that Santa brought me. do this again closer to Christmas time. Yeah, next time we'll have to like make some hot chocolate and put on our robes and I don't know, kind of get that feeling like it was when we were kids. I think it'd be fun.